자, 가보겠습니다. 이걸로 뭐가 될지는 잘 모르겠는데. 학급재판 파트는 어떻게 만들었을라나? 일단 시작부터 갑자기 학급재판 하니까 좀 당황스럽네요. 맛보기로 보여주기 위해서 만든 건가? 아하. 나 원래 단간론파답게 잘 만든 것 같은데 또 이분은? 야, 이것도 풀 더빙인가? 아우 그래?
Using evidence you gathered during the investigation, you will argue what you believe happened to the victim.
이 모노쿠마 역할을 해야 되는 모습을 드러내지 않는군.
Should you all agree on the right answer, you will be free to leave this place. Should you all agree on the wrong answer, well, you'll find out.
어서 오세요. 뭐야 알려줘. 다 죽는 거 아니냐고.
That's all there is to it. Have fun, everybody.
맛보기를 보여주는 거냐고.
Somebody, get me out of here.
If this is something we must discuss, I know a good place to start.
변호사 해봐. 일단 재판이잖아.
Get me out of here, 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 get me out of here.
벌써부터 정신줄 놓으셨네.
Somebody get me out of here.
예.
What happened to her?
보내버렸어?
Oh shit! They fried her brain.
오우 쉣.
Calm down. It's only a shock. She won't suffer any permanent side effects. If I wanted to see the brain dead bigger, I'd just turn on the telly. On that note, please carry on.
젠장, 이 짓을 시킨 녀석은 장난으로 이러는 게 아니야.
As you were saying, Wolfgang?
Right. The way I see it, the objective of this trial.
By the way, can I get like a seat with this thing? I'm just gonna be an onlooker. It's only fair.
아, 애들이 동기가 없으니까 의욕이 없네 이거.
You're seriously not going to contribute?
What am I even supposed to do?
Put your detective hat on, buddy. We're here to solve a mystery.
Yeah, who murdered that dummy chick, right?
Not who murdered her, how they murdered her.
Did that tablet not explain it?
It
어서
listed her
오세요.
wounds, yes, but it didn't explain how they were inflicted.
Probably because it's so obvious.
아, 일단 한 도중에도 볼 수가 있는데 근데 너무 없어. 꼴랑 5개.
But Miss Amber, you didn't even read the tablet.
And I don't have to.
Would you look at that? A debate's already underway.
분위기가 혼란스럽다. 잘못된 결론에 도달하기 전에 막아야만 해. 논스톱 회의를 알린 소리. 아, 논스톱 회의 그래 당연히 있어야지. 단간론파에서. 오.
인게이지 온라인 플레이 된다는데 앵크님은 못하시겠네요. 아쉽.
필요한가 온라인? 사실과 모순될 수도 있다. 모순을 간파해라. 진실을 타나닌 코토다마가 있어요. 꼴랑 5개밖에 없는데. 조준하고 우클릭으로 발사. 어서오세요. 또 마우스 써야 돼? 일단 뭐 시스템은 우리가 잘 알고 있는 거 단간론파 맞는 것 같고 막 뭐 V 포인트 그런 것도 있냐? 알았다. 스페이스로 집중 상태가 된다. 그럼 내 단간론파 다 해본 사람으로서 이걸 못하면 안 되겠지. 알았다. 어서 오세요. 양키 형님들 이거 아주 즐겁게 할 수 있겠는데. 풀더빙 돼 있어가지고. 어서 오세요. 반갑습니다. 돌아라. 일단 하나밖에
The
없어.
mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true? Objection!
이기아리.
Obvious what the murder weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood besides that big scary gun?
총.
That's right. There was a gun.
You hear that, liar man? She agrees.
잘 만들었는데? 아니 저 V3랑 거의 똑같잖아. 논스톱 헤이드 이거. 목소리가 가장 크다고 해서 그 사람이 가장 똑똑하단 거 아니야? 다행히 논리 없는 주장은 격파하기 쉬울 거야.
The mystery was never about who
근데
killed Kara, but
갖고 있는 게 지금
how she died.
라이플인데
Is that true?
어디에 모순을 지적해야 되지?
Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood besides that big scary gun?
이걸 쏴야 되나?
Right.
총을 쏴야 돼?
You hear
이게
that,
나이프가 있어야 되는 거 아니야?
She agrees.
왜 나이프가 아니고 라이플이 껴 있는 거지? 못 봤구나? 이거 나온 중에는 코토타마를 못 보네?
The mystery was never
일단은
about who
총에다가 쏠 수밖에 없지.
how she died.
빨리 넘길 수 있는 건 없나?
Objection!
Objection.
It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that
이때는 볼 수 있나?
blood?
총 피투성이었다. 이때 시간이 멈추긴 하는구나.
Besides that big scary gun.
중.
No, that's wrong.
소리와 치가우요.
Cassidy, can you stop butting in? You barely investigated the crime scene to begin with.
Whoa, what? I searched that place from top to bottom.
All right, then tell me, how was a fully loaded assault rifle used as the murder weapon?
총알이 사용되지 않은 라이플이라고 써 있었나? 안 써 있는데 총알이 사용되지 않았다라는 설명은 물론 조사 중에 그런 얘기가 나오긴 했는데 설명을 좀 더 자세하게 써놔야 되는 거 아니냐? 안 써 있잖아 여기에 부가 설명 붙어 있어야지.
That's easy. It wasn't.
영어로 외쳐야 돼? 난 한국인인데?
Obviously, the shooter reloaded their gun to full capacity.
아까 뭐라 했지? 소레와 치가우요 할 때? No, that's wrong 이거였나?
Any smart shooter could tell you that. Right, Desmond?
Why are you bringing me into this?
Except, the victim suffered multiple stab wounds to the torso. If a gun was fired, not only should the body have had bullet wounds, but there would be shell casings from the fired bullets. We saw
Details. If the gun didn't do that, chicken, what was the actual murder weapon?
실제로 사용된 흉기는 분명 번쩍 실제 사용된 흉기는 무엇인가? 역시 양동이 칼
I got it.
I got it.
The bloody knife. It's just so blatantly obvious. It was literally right next to the victim's body.
Lasercam's razor gotta ruin everything.
뭔 소리야 이게 좀 양키식 좀 말장난 그런 것들이 좀 많은 것 같아. 우리로서는 좀 이해하기가 좀 어렵군요.
Interesting. Both the knife and the rifle were present at the crime scene, but only the knife was used.
Kind of weird choosing the inferior weapon.
Nothing beats the sting of a sharpened blade.
If the killer didn't use the rifle,
Why was it at the crime scene?
Maybe it came from inside the closet.
Don't see why you'd be storing a gun in a janitor's closet.
Man, I don't know. What if it's not even related to the murder?
Of course it's related. It's covered in blood.
Oh no. Everyone's starting to yell.
논의가 통제가 안 되고 있어. 해야 할 말이 있단 말이야. 또 뭐 또 나오나? 한 번 더 도는구나. 돌아라. 태블릿 어설트 라이플.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife.
여러분 이거 동의하는 거 해줘야 되나? 태블릿 28번 찔렸다. 머리에는 화학적 화상. 눈과 두피 화상이 가장 눈에 띈다.
Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even
뽕을
work.
사용하지 않았을 거라고
These
확신해.
days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer would have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
살인범이 총을 들고 있었다고 생각하기 쉽지만 피해자가 어떻게 죽었는지를 고려해보면 다른 방향으로 생각이 드는걸?
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer
왜 총을 가져간
would
걸까?
have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
뭐가 좀 직관적으로 보이지가 않는데? 여기서 이제 피해자가 총을 들고 있었다라고 얘기를 해야 될 것 같은데 그걸 뭘로 말을 해야 되지?
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
잘 모르겠다. 답을 알지만 뭘 제시해야 될지 모르겠다. 태블릿과 총 갖고 어떻게 그걸 제시해야 되지? 어디다가?
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
부금께 신명나는구만.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer would have
총을
no
가져가는
reason
것이 아니다라는 거를 제시해야
to-
되나?
And yet, they did.
방금 총 가져간 애다가 써야 될 것 같은데 태블릿은 아니겠지? 또 총을 제시해야 되나? 아 이게 설명에 다 안 써져 있다 보니까 이제 뭘 해야 맞출 수 있을지 추리를 해야 되네?
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife.
한 대 맞아보는 수밖에 없나?
Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then
발사! 아,
are you out of it? That has nothing to do with anything.
아, 크어. 이 시간이 없어.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were
태블릿을
next to
쏠까?
the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife.
아, 답을 알고도 또 틀리니까 좀 꼽네.
Choice.
I bet that gun
시간 없어, 빨리. 빨리 넘겨 빨리. 빨리 넘기는 거 없나?
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken,
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. 어서 오세요.
Stop that
반갑습니다.
thought right there. If we keep assuming the killer had the gun,
それは違うよ。
what? You think the killer was unarmed?
No, they were definitely armed with the knife. The reason they didn't use a gun is probably because they never had it to begin with.
But then, who did?
Easy. The victim.
Victims.
The dummy had the gun?
If it wasn't the killer, it has to be her. She must have brought it to the closet. She was probably carrying it before the murder, but dropped it when the killer attacked her.
Oh, I guess that makes some sense.
Complete sense.
Complete
I
sense.
wouldn't be so sure about that. Aren't you overlooking something?
Huh?
Huh?
The victim was stabbed from the front, meaning she could have seen the killer coming, correct? If so, why didn't she shoot them?
뭘로?
A stealth attack! I bet the killer memorized her AI movements.
That girl must have been killed before she had the chance to defend herself.
That's not technically true.
에?
There's evidence of a struggle between the victim and the killer.
아, 증거가 있었나? 피해자와 살인자 사이에 다툼이 있었다는 증거가 일단 세이브를 한번 하고 증거가 증거가 있어? 뭐가 있어야 말이지 내가 가진 게 손? 이게 증거가 되나? 납득이 되지 않는데? 주인공이 좀 자뻑이 심해요. 난 되게 특별한 놈이다 라고 생각하고 있는 주인공입니다. 피해자가 반격을 시도했다는 증거는 진짜 골라야 돼? 증거는 손밖에 안 보이는데? 손을 던져보자. 쿠라에!
This is it. We found dry blood under the victim's fingernails, which implies she was clawing at her attacker.
그런가? 그것만 가지고?
Of course, no explanation is definitive without photo proof of the killer, but I'm confident this is what happened.
Why would you resort to scratching when you're carrying a gun?
산원 철조!
Did something get in the way of her using it?
Wonder if that killer stole it from her.
She should have seen or heard him coming from the hallway at the very least.
Why do you think she was in the hallway?
That's where the fight happens, right?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. How can we be sure the fight happened there?
Maybe the fight started in the hallway, and after it ended, her body was dragged into the closet.
If that happened, shouldn't there have been streaks of blood on the floor or in the hallway?
Drag marks? Can't say I saw any.
It was merely a jest. No need to take it so seriously.
빡대가리가 가득하구나.
Instead of dragging the victim, what if the killer carried her? I don't know why they would want to do that, but it would explain the lack of drag marks.
But then, wouldn't the killer have been covered in
blood? Aye. It should have gotten everywhere. Those wounds were brutal. A few inches deep, I reckon. Carrying her would have done nothing.
아, 또 양키들이라 거의 인치 야드 단위 쓰는 거냐?
Good point.
쟤는 언제 정신 차리냐? 옆에.
She was obviously killed in the closet. That's where the blood was.
Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry for derailing the conversation.
Moving on.
That fight. The victim had the gun, but she was overpowered?
If she wanted to, she could have just, you know.
It doesn't make much sense, does it?
우리가 뭔가 놓치고 있어. 피해자가 어떻게 제압당했는지 설명하는 뭔가가 있을 거야. 뭔가. 그리고 그걸 알아낼 수 있는 사람은 나밖에 없어. 이 천재적인 초고격급 토론가인 나밖에 없어. 좋아요. 이제 동의에 대해서 이제 설명해 주는 거야? 파란색이 나왔었지. 대충 쏘면 된다. 우리가 다 아는 얘기들. 거기에 찬성이다. 알았어. 이런 주인공 처음이죠. 자뻑남.
That slimy killer pulled a fast one. And knocked the gun out of her hand.
손에서 놓치는 거다.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still. So.
10대 누르니까 빨리 재생되네요. 말소리도 빨라지네.
I bet that girl didn't see them coming.
보지 못했다?
Maybe she thought the killer was her friend? I know I wouldn't hurt a friend.
She tried clawing their eyes out.
잘 만들었네. 보면 볼수록. 누군가 두피의 화상이 눈에 띈다. 이걸 아까 보지 못했다에 제시를 하면 되나? 표백제를 쏟아 부었다. 왜 피해자는 살인자를 쏘지 않았을까? 모두 그럴듯한 말을 하고 있지만 누가 정답일까?
That slimy killer pulled the gun out of her hand.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
She still carried a gun. So. Didn't she?
I bet that girl didn't even see them coming.
보지 못했다. 아이 까리 맞췄다.
John actually has a point. The victim probably couldn't see what was going on. According to the tablet, she suffered chemical burns to the face and eyes. That sort of injury would have effectively blinded her. Also, inside the janitor's closet, there was a large empty bottle of bleach. That's probably the chemical that caused the
통으로
burns.
해도 맞았을라나?
Bleach? That's horrible.
All that pain, yet she still managed to fight back.
She sure put up a struggle. Without a gun, I guess the next best thing was her hands.
So the killer was definitely the one who blinded her.
Indeed. Knowing she had a gun, he blinded her to make her less dangerous. Then, when he pinned her against the door and stabbed her, she tried to retaliate.
Until eventually dying from her wounds.
Jeez, this is brutal. Couldn't they have toned down the violence?
The past is in the past, and we can't change that. All we can do is solve her untimely death, eh?
I mean, by the sounds of it, we've already figured it out, right?
No. Not yet.
Seriously?
But we've already discussed so much!
We know she was armed. We know she was blinded. We figured out how she died. How is this not a closed case?
Please understand, I'm proud of everyone's hard work so far. Because of you, we're one step closer to bringing the victim justice.
This was never about the dummy.
However, we should think of this case like an equation. Knowing how it works is only half the struggle. Now we need to figure out why.
Why?
Then the motive?
그걸 내가 어떻게 알아?
You're on the right track.
동기도 알아야 돼?
You speak like we have any information on the killer. The man's a stock image. He doesn't even have a name.
단간에서의 동기는 따질 필요가 없었는데.
What are we supposed to ascertain? What are we supposed to ascertain?
동기도 알아야 돼.
That he's a non-character?
Not every answer will be written down for you. Sometimes actions speak louder than.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
오,
Hold the phone!
깜짝이야.
Grace?
정신이 들어?
What? Since when was Grace back to normal?
Right now, soybean. Huh. Watching you guys try to solve this mystery has been like watching a dumpster catch on fire. I guess all that smoke must have clouded your vision, 'cause there's a big-ass elephant in this room.
An elephant in the room?
코끼리?
That's giving us too much credit.
So the killer incapacitated that girl. She had a gun, it makes total sense. Problem is, you've yet to explain how he used the bleach.
왜, 다 듣고 있었어?
I sort of assumed he spilled it on the victim.
Right. He just tipped the bottle over her.
That bottle is where the bleach came from, sure. But I doubt the bottle itself was involved in the murder. When we found it, it was neatly ordered on a shelf near the back of the closet. The gun and knife were just thrown on the floor. So it's weird this weapon was handled so differently.
Do you think the killer just poured the contents of that bottle into something else?
Sure, before the actual murder took place, I'd say.
And what is this something else? Go on, explain it before this dumpster turns molten.
누가? 내가? 결국 나야? 이 주제에서 다음으로 넘어가기 전에 논리가 타당한지 먼저 확인할 필요가 있어. 좋아, 그럼 이 불을 꺼보자. 네 개나?
Well, if the original bottle's been emptied, where'd the bleach go?
Into another bottle?
What about a container? There were a bunch in the closet.
I bet the killer had a secret water gun. So when the victim came in, pow!
빰.
He squirted her in the eyes.
Hey! The ink vanishes when the battle's over.
Call the fire brigade, Grace.
화상을 입히려면 살인자는 분명 뭔가 이용했을 거야. 그게 뭘까? 그거? 뭐지?
If the original bottle's been emptied,
뭐 있나? 할 수 있는 게? 어서 오세요. 오늘은 파엠 안 합니다. 파엠이 오지도 않았어 지금. 아니 이거 뭐 너무 없으니까 뭐 추리를 못 하겠다.
where'd the bleach go?
Into another bottle?
What about a container? There were a bunch in the closet.
뭐지? 지가 옮겼나?
I bet the killer had a secret water gun.
The ink vanishes when...
Grace?
내가 이거 지금 어떻게 알지? 어떻게 표백제를 엎었나?
Well, if the original bottle's the bleach.
Into another.
What about a container? There were a bunch in the closet.
I bet the the killer had a secret water. When the victim in, he squirted